everyone, and happy Wine Wednesday. I'm Ali from A Glass After Work, and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to share wine from my Vasco Urbano and Nottingham Cellars wine clubs. They're actually owned by the same family, the Craner family, and the wines are made by the same winemaker, Colin Craner. However, Vasco Urbano specializes in the Rhone Valley wines, while Nottingham Cellars specializes in the Bordeaux varieties. I've actually done another video, which I'll link down below, which talks a little bit more about that and a couple of the other wines that I have gotten in the past from them. Since I did that video though, I've changed my wine club up a little bit because I'm not a huge fan of Viognier, which is the white Rhone variety that they focus on the most. I decided to make my Vasco Urbano wine club all red wines. At the same time, I feel like I drink a lot of cabs kind of from all over, and while I enjoy the Nottingham Cellar cabs, it was just kind of not always something that I thought was super special. So I switched that wine club over actually to all white wines. Plus that means that my husband will get to enjoy some of those wines since he tends to be a white wine drinker instead of a red wine drinker. So with that, why don't we dive right on in. The first wine, and the one that I'm going to taste today, is this 2017 Chardonnay from Livermore Valley. This Nottingham Cellars, this 2017 Chardonnay actually is a special vintage for them because it's the first one that is all Livermore Valley grapes, and they actually use the Karl Wente Vineyard. If you're familiar with the Wente family, and you might be, since they make an awful lot of wines, they are actually the ones who brought the Chardonnay grape over from France back in about 1912. That is now the clone used by most California wineries. So this wine is from the Karl Wente Vineyard. And yeah, it says that it's 100% Chardonnay, 50% barrel fermented, 50% stainless steel, and that barrel fermentation is new French oak. So let's dig on in. As you can see, my screw top love continues. I'm very excited that they put a screw top on here. And let's take a look. All right, so this is a pretty dark looking yellow for the wine. It's nice and clear, but it's got a nice dark color. On the nose, I'm definitely getting a lot of that chewed popsicle stick aroma that I tend to associate with wine that has spent both some time in steel and some time in oak. There's also some golden delicious apples and some pears. Smells good. Let's take a sip. Cheers. So the palate is very similar to the nose. Definitely getting much more of the golden delicious apples and some of the pears. A little less of that popsicle stick barrel taste. The wine has good acid. It's a light to medium bodied. I think it's a good summer wine, but I think it can also transition well into the fall as you start getting to a little bit heavier food. This has the ability to kind of hold up through that, but at the same time, I think it's still good with some of your lighter meals, your lighter fishes, especially maybe if you're going to do like a beurre blanc or something on your fish. I think it would hold up really well. All right, let's take a look at the other wines. I actually got 2 of that Chardonnay in my 3-bottle shipment. The other wine that I got is this Bdx Blanc. It's a micro lot reserve, a 2017. and it's grown in the Wente Vineyards. This Bdx Blanc is 65% Semillon and 35% Sauvignon Blanc. And I don't know if I mentioned, but the Chardonnay is $28. This is going to be $30, and I think it should be fun to try. And that brings me to the Vasco Urbano wines. I love the Vasco Urbano wines. I have to admit they are among my favorites. I really also enjoy their labels. So the winery is actually named for the artist whose caricatures are on the labels. He came through the Livermore Valley back in about 1910, and he wasn't there for super long, but he was well known for doing caricatures and portraits. And so all of the caricatures on the labels are actually done by him. Obviously, he's now long gone. He actually, I think, passed away in 1918, but they still have the caricatures, so they use them. So first up is the HP. So you can see that great caricature right there. So as you can see from the label, it is a Mourvedre, and it's all hand harvested. It was harvested, it says, on October 24th, 2015. I really like their Mourvedres. Sometimes I find that Mourvedres can have a little bit too much of an earthy thing happening without enough of the other characteristics to complement it, but I really enjoy this one. And this wine is actually, I think all three of these wines are $42. So they're definitely on the more expensive end. They're not wines that I open up every day. They're more kind of, we have special company over or something like that. Or if I'm having a really bad day and want something a little special. So this one is the Norm wine. And as you can see from here, it is the 2015 Grenache. This, to be honest, the Norm is one of my favorites of their wines. I just love this wine, and every time I have served it, there's always people who compliment on it. It's a good wine. It's got lots of flavor and a lot of body, but it doesn't have a lot of tannins, and so it's one of those wines that's easily approachable, but still has a lot going on. Last up is the Sheriff. Isn't that label great? I just love it. And this, as you can see, is a 2016 GSM, which means that it's Grenache, Syrah, and Mourvedre. So it's a blend. It's 45% Grenache, 40% Syrah, and 15% Mourvedre. And yeah, so each one of these bottles, in addition to the character, there's a story about the wine and the kind of what they've created. For example, this is Meet the Sheriff, Edward James Sweeney. Tall and stout, moves swiftly through Livermore Valley, chasing down horse thieves, cattle rustlers, and raiding Livermore's red light district. His outstanding, bold career and dedication to Livermore earned him his final title as county detective. This rhone-style blend reflects the sheriff's best traits: bold, smooth, and memorable, with rich fruit flavors and aromatics. I love this wine too. I think I do tend to go for the Grenache a little more over this one, although I will say that the Petite Syrah, which is not one of the ones that we got in this month, is usually my favorite. But that said, all of them are delicious. So I think that that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber already, definitely hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to also hit the little bell. It will let you know when I upload a new video, which is every Wednesday. And I'd love to know, do you like Rhone wines? Are you a kind of a Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, Petite Syrah person, or do you tend to be much more of a Bordeaux style, preferring the Cabs and their Merlots? And I'd love to know kind of your thoughts on that. And with that, have a happy Wine Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.